Hi everyone, it's Helen Hortai here, founder of Form Help, and we are on the Australian Government Department of Home Affairs, Immigration and Citizenship webpage. And today we are looking at the visa, Electronic Travel Authority visa, which is a subclass 601. So we'll have a look at what this entails. So for the subclass 601 Electronic Travel Authority, it says that you can visit Australia as often as you wish in a 12-month period, and you can stay up to 3 months each time you enter Australia. Okay, so if we look over here under important information about travel to Australia, it says Australia has strict border measures in place to protect the health of the community. You can still apply for a visa to visit Australia, but you may not be able to enter Australia at this time. So it says to check the latest information about travel restrictions. You have the link there, and international safe travel zones. So some travellers can apply for an ETA using the ETA app. And so for more information, there is an actual step-by-step guide. Now it says you cannot apply for an ETA online or through an agent or airline at this time. So if you are unable to use the app, you can apply online through an IMI account for another visa that suits your needs. So European passport holders may be eligible for an e-visa or a subclass 651. Okay, so for the ETA, just to reiterate, for the ETA you cannot apply for this online, but we can download the app, and there's also a step-by-step guide which we will go through. Oops. Okay, so under stay it says you have up to 3 months at a time. Under cost, there is no visa application charge, but there may be an application service charge of $20, so that's 20 Australian dollars. Processing time, so processing time for this visa is not available. With this visa, you can visit family or friends, cruise or have a holiday, undertake some business or visitor activities. So there is a link there to explain that further. Now you must apply from outside Australia. So when you are applying for the ETA, you must be outside of Australia when applying, and you must have an eligible passport. So you can see the conditions here and check your eligibility by clicking on that link. So we are going to look at the step-by-step guide for the ETA app. Okay, this is the step-by-step guide here. Show steps. Okay, show steps. Okay, so step 1, before you apply, you must check that you have a valid passport. Okay, now step 2, applying for the visa. Now you can apply for an ETA using the Australian ETA app on your mobile phone device if you hold a passport from Brunei, Canada, Hong Kong, Japan, Malaysia, Singapore, South Korea, or the United States of America. Now, so these are the only countries whereby you can apply through the ETA app. So you can go ahead and download it from the App Store or the Google Play Store for Androids. Now, step 3, after you apply. So in most cases, you will be notified of the result of your ETA application immediately. Sometimes there will be a delay of up to 12 hours before receiving your notification. Check your emails, including your junk mail folder, for a written notification from us. Your application might take longer to process if you don't fill it in correctly, so just ensure that you fill everything in correctly that you're supposed to fill in. Or it may take longer because they need more information from you, and it takes us time to verify your information. So that's why your application may take longer because of those 3 reasons. You haven't filled it out correctly, they require more information from you, and they also need time to verify all the information that you have provided them with. Now over here it says if you have a criminal conviction in any country, we will need more information from you. So you should apply for a visitor subclass 600 visa and provide evidence about your criminal convictions. Okay, so what they're saying is that if you do have a criminal conviction from any country, then it's best that you apply for the visitor subclass 600 visa and provide evidence about your criminal convictions. Okay, step 4. So visa outcome. After you have lodged your ETA application, we will send you a written advice by email, and the written advice might notify you that your ETA has been granted. We will also tell you your visa grant number, the date your visa starts, and your visa conditions. And they might also advise you that your application cannot be processed or approved without further information. So if your application cannot be processed or approved without further information, you can apply for another visa that is suitable for your travel needs. So in this link here, you can explore your other visa options available to you. You can also contact an Australia visa office and provide information, so we can consider whether you are eligible for an ETA. Your notification letter will tell you how you can contact an office. So do not submit further ETA applications, as you will see the same results. Now, if we refuse, not me, but the Immigration Department, if we refuse your ETA, we will let you know by email, and we will tell you why we refused and whether you have a right to a review of the decision. So the service charge will not be refunded if your application is not successful, okay? So just be aware that the service charge will not be refunded if your application is not successful. Okay, so let's have a look at what this ETA app looks like. Okay, so this is what the Australian ETA app looks like. So that's from the Department of Home Affairs. So you can see here. Okay, we'll have a read. Okay, so it says an Australian government mobile application that you can use to lodge an Australian Electronic Travel Authority or an ETA application. Now the ETA allows eligible passport holders to travel to Australia for short-term stays for tourism or business visitor purposes. So see the ETA website to find out more and check your eligibility to apply. This is the Australian ETA app, and it allows you to apply for an Australian Electronic Travel Authority to visit Australia using a passport from Brunei, Canada, Hong Kong, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, Singapore, and the United States. If you don't have a passport for the countries that I have just read, that means that you can't apply for the ETA through the app. So the app only allows those with their countries listed down here. Okay, we'll proceed to next. What is an Electronic Travel Authority? So an Electronic Travel Authority, or ETA, provides authorization to travel to and enter Australia and is electronically linked to the applicant's passport. Now it is for short-term stays, for tourism or business visitor activities, such as attending a conference, making business inquiries, or for contractual negotiations. Business visitor activities do not include work. Now, an ETA is not a work visa, Now, if the applicant would like to work in Australia, they can use the visa finder to search for a visa that is suitable for them. And you've got the visa finder there highlighted in blue, should you need to use it. Okay, we'll proceed to next. So there are terms and conditions. So you need to read through all these terms and conditions before you agree. So go ahead, once you have read and understood and agreed with the terms and conditions, then proceed to agree. Secure your profile on your device. Now, your passport information is saved to your device in a secure manner. In the following screen, you will be prompted to create a password. So go ahead and proceed to continue, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, so this is where you get to set your passcode. So go ahead and set your passcode, and then you can log into the ETA app. And then go ahead and re-enter your passcode to confirm. So under travel agents, are you a travel agent? Yes or no, and then proceed to next. Now it says here you have no applications to display. Tap on the new ETA to start an application. So I am going to go ahead and press new ETA so that I can commence my application. So consent agreement, so the Australian ETA App application consent agreement. So again, read through the consent agreement, and if you do agree, then go ahead and select agree. And if you don't agree, then obviously you are going to select decline. Before applying, now the applicant must be present with their passports and have a valid email address to apply using the Australian ETA app. Now, all fields in the application are mandatory unless otherwise stated. To apply, the applicant will be required to, let's read this list. Okay, number 1, allow the app to scan their passport and read the passport chip. So a photo of the personal data page of the passport will be taken, and the information contained on that page and in the passport chip will be used for the purpose of completing some of the application. Number 2, take or have a photo taken of themselves. Now this confirms the person applying for the ETA is the same person shown in the passport. And number 3, answer a few questions. Now, not all of the information necessary to complete an ETA application can be obtained directly from the passport. The answers to these questions provide more information to assist in the processing of the application. So just note in the grey box there, use the valid passport the applicant will use to travel to Australia. So make sure you are using the correct passport that you will be using when you travel to Australia. Okay, let's commence. Start. Scan the passport. How to scan the passport. Remove any cases or covers from the applicant's passport and mobile device. Open the applicant's passport to the personal data page and place the passport on a flat surface. Ensure your fingers do not cover any of the information. Avoid any glare, reflections or shadows. And the full page must be inside the frame, including the 2 lines of numbers and letters at the bottom of the page. Now the app will prompt you to adjust the device to make sure you capture the applicant's passport correctly. Now these prompts will appear at the top of the screen. Please note, access to the camera is required to scan the passport to proceed with the ETA application. And then you have the little blue box there that says scan passport. The picture above, it's giving you an example of how to scan your passport. And then it will come up with this message. So Australian ETA would like to access the camera. So this app needs access to camera in order to scan the passport. And now because I want to scan the passport, I'm going to select OK. Now, unfortunately, I cannot move past the scan passport stage, as I do not hold a passport for Brunei, Canada, Hong Kong, Japan, Malaysia, Singapore, South Korea or the United States. So unfortunately we're going to have to cut it there, but I will give you as much information as I can on the rest of the process. Now, I forgot to say that when I did try and scan my passport, knowing that it wasn't one of the 8 countries, it came up with the following message. So it says country not eligible, and this country is not eligible to apply using the Australian ETA mobile app. Please try another channel. Okay, so at least we know that it doesn't work for the other countries that were unlisted. Now, if we go back to the App Store where we downloaded the Australian ETA app, scroll down till you get to this section here, and you'll see that the Department of Home Affairs have provided links to videos that you may find helpful. Now, there are 4 videos. Now, the first one is how to scan your passport. The second one is how to scan the eChip on a USA passport. Number 3 is how to scan the eChip on other passports. And the last one, number 4, how to take a photo of yourself. Now, this is one that meets the Australian ETA standards. So go ahead and watch those videos if you feel inclined to do so, and I will provide links in the description box below. Otherwise, I'll give you a summary through the pictures that will be showing up soon. This first part is scanning the passport data page. Enable your NFC function of your device, and if your device has a cover, remove it. Remove any cover or wallet from your passport. Open your passport to the data page and align your mobile device over the passport. The red outline turns green when properly aligned. Ensure you don't obstruct the camera, avoid shadows and avoid glare. Next we come to reading the passport eChip for USA passports. Again, enable the NFC function of your device, and if your device has a cover, remove it. Remove any cover or wallet from your passport, and passports with this symbol contain a passport chip. Open your passport to the data page, and then place your mobile device on top of the page, facing the personal data page, and make sure the device is touching the passport. Then slide the device slowly up and down on the passport until the app recognizes the chip and the reading chip message displays. And do not move your device until the scan completes. Now, Android devices display a notification on the screen for you to hold still while the phone reads the chip. And Apple devices display a yellow progression line that is filled in as the chip is read. Now, once the app has read the chip, you can review and confirm the information. So make sure you check all the information as it should be a reflection of what's on your passport. Now let's look at reading the passport eChip for the non-US passports. Again, don't forget to enable the NFC function of your device, and if your device has a cover, remove it. Remove any cover or wallet from your passport. And passports with this symbol contain a passport chip, and the location of the chip varies depending on the nationality of the passport you are using. Now place the device directly on top of the front of the passport and make sure the device is touching the passport. Now move your mobile device slowly around the passport until the app recognizes the chip and the reading chip message displays. And do not move your device until the scan completes. Now, if you are using an Android device, there is a notification on the screen advising you to hold still as the phone is reading the chip data. And if you're using an Apple device, there is a yellow progression line that is filled in as the chip is read. Now, once the app has finished reading the chip, you will be presented with the information for you to review and confirm. So ensure that the information there does match up with what's on your passport. And if you can't find the chip on the front cover, try scanning the back cover of your passport. And the last part is taking a photo of yourself. And once again, enable the NFC function of your device. So during the ETA process, you do have to take a photo of yourself. Now frame your face in the highlighted oval and face forward and look directly at the camera. Now ensure you keep your eyes open and visible. Remove your glasses if practical and be in front of a plain, light background. Now ensure there's nothing covering your face, no shadows anywhere, and no objects or other people in the photo. And when the camera is in the right position, the red oval turns green and the photo is taken automatically. And please take note of what is not an acceptable photo. So it's not square to the camera, there is more than one person, there is a non-plane background, there are background shadows, and there are glare or shadows. And also be mindful of the notes below. Avoid wearing heavy makeup on your face, as it can also affect the suitability of your photo. So even though we didn't get to go through the entire process of applying for the ETA or the Subclass 601 visa through the Australian ETA app, we got through some of it, and we also got to get some tips from the videos provided by the Department of Home Affairs. Now, just to reiterate, as we covered earlier when we were going through the app under before applying, the applicant must be present with their passport and have a valid email address when applying for the ETA through the ETA app. Now, all fields in the application are mandatory, meaning you have to answer each field unless otherwise stated. You also need to allow the app to scan your passport and read the chip. You need to take a photo of yourself to confirm that you are the person applying for the ETA. For example, the person on the passport that has been scanned by the ETA app. And you need to answer a few questions, as not all the necessary information needed to complete the ETA app can be obtained from scanning your passport. And the answers to those questions provide more information to assist in the processing of the application. Okay, so we are going to have a look, or maybe we will read some of the ratings and reviews. It says this is the worst idea from the Australian government. So this app doesn't work with the latest HK passport period. I have called Department of Home Affairs, and the reply is there is nothing we can do. If the app doesn't work, you cannot apply for the ETA. So why did the Australian government force people to use a broken app? Why couldn't they stick to the website solution that worked well? Okay, so that's an unhappy ETA app user. We will see what's very impressed says. Okay, so the app makes the ETA application so much easier, convenient and faster. I love not having to go through the pain at looking over my document numbers numerous times over. The scan feature really saves time and energy. Okay, that was from what? I'll have a look at another one. Okay, so this one, poor photo taking, error of a face image quality failed. For one applicant, no matter using front or back camera, switching off live, different lighting, etc. Tried for more than a day, worked effortless on the same phone for two other applicants. Oh, okay, I'm not sure what's happened there. Where's the other reviews? Now, I thought there were more reviews for the ETA app. However, there are only 5 and 9 ratings, but I'll let you be the judge of the ETA app. What business visitor activities entails. Okay, so what does business visitor activities mean? A business visitor can make general business or employment inquiries, investigate, negotiate, sign or review a business contract, undertake an activity as part of an official government visit, take part in a conference, trade fair or seminar. The organisers cannot pay you to take part, and business visitors cannot work for or provide services to a person, business or organisation, sell goods to the public, or sell goods or services to the public. What eligible passport means. So have an eligible passport. Let's see what that means. So Australia has strict border measures in place to protect the health of the community. So the following passports are ETA eligible. However, you may not be able to apply for an ETA at this time. So we have a whole list of countries here that meet the definition of an eligible passport. So they're all listed along there. So if you hold more than one passport, you must declare this in your ETA application and provide details of your other passports. If you hold an ETA eligible passport, but you are also an Australian citizen, you do not need to apply for an ETA. So Australian citizens have an automatic right of entry and do not need a visa to enter Australia. So being a genuine visitor, so you must only intend to stay temporarily in Australia, obey any condition and stay period attached to your visa. Now, if you stay in Australia for long periods or make frequent visits to Australia, we may ask you about your travel purpose next time you enter Australia. So if you are found not to be a genuine visitor, your ETA may be cancelled. And you also need to meet the health requirements. If you will be entering healthcare or hospital environments, you should apply for a visitor subclass 600 visa and complete the relevant health checks. Meet our character requirements, so you must meet our character requirements. If you have a criminal conviction in any country, you should apply for a visitor visa subclass 600 and provide evidence about your criminal convictions. If you are granted an ETA, but we find that you provided incorrect information, your ETA may be cancelled. Have paid back a debt to the Australian government. So if you or any family members, including those who don't apply for the visa with you, owe the Australian government money, you or they must have paid it back or arranged to pay it back. Best interest of the child, we might not grant this visa if it is not in the best interest of an applicant under 18. So check visa details and conditions. So if it's for the ETA 601, yes. So the following conditions might be attached to this visa, being the ETA 601 or 601. So limited activities. So the holder must not work in Australia other than by engaging in a business visitor activity. So we covered that. Okay. So maximum 3-month study. So while in Australia, you must not engage for more than 3 months in any studies or training. Okay. So additional information, in certain circumstances, this restriction does not apply. So it doesn't apply to subclass 590, 602, 675 and 685. Okay. So subclass 590 visa holders, you can study up to 20 hours a week on an English language intensive course for overseas students. Subclass 602, 675 and 685 visa holders, you may study in Australia for more than 3 months if you are under 18, your circumstances have changed while in Australia, you have written permission to do so because of your circumstances. Now, other visa holders, you must not study or train in Australia for more than 3 months in total. And for the full list of conditions relevant to your visa, see the Federal Register of Legislation. So you must be free from tuberculosis. You must be free from TB when you travel and enter Australia. And you must have no criminal convictions for which sentence is 12 months or more. So you must not have any criminal convictions for which the sentences total 12 months or more, whether or not you have served these sentences. So you need to tell us if there is a change to your situation. And that concludes today's video on the Australian ETA, or the subclass 601 visa. Now, I'm sorry that we couldn't cover all the steps for the Australian ETA app, but hopefully you have a better idea of what to expect when going through the ETA app and the process you will need to go through. And those holding passports from the 8 countries that can actually apply for the ETA through the ETA app, you are very lucky compared to others. So all the best, and for those of you who can't apply for the ETA through the app, hopefully your country will be added to the app soon, or hopefully you're able to apply through the online option when it does become available. Okay, thanks for listening. All the best. with your ETA applications, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Thank you. Bye.